survive in advance or do what you can in advance? Do you feel like you did what you needed to do for the most part today?
Yeah, obviously a really big points day. I wish we would have had some things go a little better with like 10 to go to be in a better position to challenge for the win, but had a really great race car, good execution, great pit stops, really good day across the board except for like with 10 to go, I couldn't get anything to go my way. So the last two restarts certainly went my way and kind of got us back to where we were, but just needed to be a little further forward to have a shot at it.
I mean, Watkins Glen and Bristol are not your best tracks, so do you feel like you got
at Bristol in the spring?
That's right. Yeah. Beyond that, though, it hasn't been.
We've had a lot of really fast race cars. We've had a lot of things go super wrong at Bristol, I would say. I love Bristol. We've honestly been pretty good there, just with a lot of stuff happening. Watkins Glen, we've been pretty terrible. So I'll give you 1 out of 2, Bob. I gotta give you a hard time, but Watkins Glen. I mean, I've spent a month in the simulator at this point, just trying to be better. I feel like I'm pretty good at the rest of the road courses, and the Glen just hasn't been a place that's really clicked for me. So trying to figure that out and be better. And then Bristol, we'll see what happens. Who knows if the tires are going to do that again, or you probably know better than me what's actually going to happen. But we'll probably find out when we get there.
Great points day for Alex Bowman. Comes home top 5, got stage points at both stages. Got to feel great.
Yeah, I mean, certainly a good day, right? But we want more. Really big points day. Happy with all of that. Really great Ally 48 Camaro. Like, we had a really fast race car all day, but and it drove great. Like, we executed really well. Just bummed we didn't have a shot to win. I feel like I put myself in some bad spots there with like 10 to go and lost track position and had to make that back up and just ran out of track.
It seemed like the Hendrick Chevys could work really well together.
Yeah, I thought we were all really fast and like all of our stuff drove really well. So everything was good.
What did you see out of your window when Larson just all of a sudden turned right?
Yeah, it just looked like he got loose. This place is pretty sketchy when the car's loose. So just got loose and it bit and he overcorrected and then went the other way. So not the first time we've seen that here. We've seen that quite a few times here, I feel like, at this point. So they're really sketchy here when they're loose for sure.
You spent a lot of time in the sim getting ready for Watkins Glen. What do you think your chances are next week?
Yeah, I mean, I just hope it all applies, right? Like, I work really hard every week for wherever we're going. And Watkins Glen, it's not the first year that I've spent a lot of time trying to be better at it. So, hopefully it applies. Obviously, we've run the Xfinity car there before, trying to be better and done a lot of different things. So, excited to get there and see what we've got because I've definitely worked pretty hard at it.
Can you explain how do you like the sprint race? You guys were like so on top of each other so much more, and today it looked like you guys were spread out more. Is it just the temperature makes that much of a difference?
I never really, I guess where I was at, I didn't feel like we were that spread out. I don't know, and I guess it's hard for me to say because I didn't really run the spring race. I mean, I ran the spring race, but I rode around in the back with the car destroyed, right, after lap 1. It was more packed up than I thought it would be today. I thought it would spread out even more with the summer on the racetrack, being warmer, the sun's on it. In the spring, I felt like on a restart, everybody would run really close together. And then as tires wore out, they spread out and kind of, it would string out. And then the sun went down and everybody packed back up to the track. So I felt like it was more packed up than I expected. I don't know. Obviously, I'm driving while I'm not watching.
You feel like it's getting pretty warm already? It's aging fairly fast?
Well, today was the best driving car that I've had here, like the most grip I've ever had here. So, hard to say. It's certainly a lot grayer than it was when we were here in the spring, which, would make you think it's aging, but you would think Michigan would have aged by now, too. So, it's hard to say what it's really doing grip-wise. I felt like I had a lot of grip all day. But I also obviously had a really good race car too.
Maybe you can speak to this, maybe you can't. What is it so good about maybe Fords in general, but specifically Team Penske in these kind of races?
Yeah, I mean, they were able to accelerate on that restart underneath me and just destroy me when I was the control car, like that was super impressive. And Ricky was like on my bumper pushing me the whole time, and they just drove right around us. So yeah, their stuff is just really fast. You look at qualifying, their stuff's really fast. So I don't know if that's body stuff or what it is, but obviously, you know, these tracks are their strengths for sure.
It seems like in the race, they do such a good job of controlling the race. Whether it's Cindric or Blaney today, or even Logano when he gets up there, just every time it seems like.
Yeah, I mean, I that one run we're saving fuel, right? And I'm like, well, maybe if I ran wide open, I could get up beside the 2. Then we pit. I run wide open beside the 12, and I'm like, nope, still can't get there. So yeah, I mean, it's impressive what they're able to do. I felt like I had a great race car, but yeah, certainly what they do as a group is impressive.
Anything you could have done different on that final restart?
No, I mean, I think the final restart went really well for us. I think it started with like 10 to go when we lost on track position. So, you know, put ourselves in a tough spot to have to restart 13th with 2 restarts to go, and obviously, you know, made up a lot of ground the last 2 restarts, but just needed to start further forward to have a shot at winning.
And lastly, can you speak to like the slickness on the racetrack? Talking to some Xfinity guys yesterday. I know those cars drive different, but they said it was slick. You can move around. How was it in the Cup car today on that?
I thought I had a lot of grip today. The first run was a little bit slick, but then it definitely gripped up. So I had a great race car though, so maybe it wasn't like that for everybody, but I felt like I had a lot of grip.
Thank you.
Yep.